play a game.
G'day viewers, how you doing? This is the Evening Star, but this isn't what we're doing, because we're going to reload from save to finish where we were last time. And hopefully it'll work okay. It's a little bit fiddly. I actually had to get some help from Paul from N3V very late last night. We finished our conversation around midnight to get this up and running. Chocky, it is 8:31 AM on Sunday morning. Or crooked. What's going on there? What is going on there? It's because I wear two t-shirts. Never mind. I'll just be crooked Trainz Simulator driver today. That's fine. Yeah. When I said resume from save, it's put me back into the Evening Star scenario. So I guess we won't get to do the shunting on the docks then. It must have done a save point. That's a bummer. Oh well, you'll just have to watch the recording of it. Hello, Andy and Chucky, Michael and Wesley, and anybody else lurking about. Let's see if there is anybody else lurking about. Yes, there is people. There are other people lurking about, but I can't see who they are. Alright, we're going to drive this thing then, because I wanted to go back to the shunting where we were last night, but that hasn't worked out. So I will... It must have done a save point when we switched sessions. That's okay. I could load the session. What if I load the session and did resume from save? Does it have more than one save slot? Let's try that, just in case it works. Because I did reload from save. So if I go back to... I won't redo the whole thing. The docs, that's what we want. Let's see if I load a save, if it comes in from here. Hello to... I think I said hello to Andy, but hello Andy, and hello Jeroen. Let's see what this does. Because I want to show you this shunting thing, because I think it would be useful.
Morning.
Right, now if I do load from save here, does it have a save slot per session? That's the question. Where's my bottle of drink? I'll be right back. Right, now I'm better prepared. No, it comes back in here. Well, that's a bummer, but that's okay. We will cope. So we are in the Evening Star. We're going to drive to Burntisland. Or is it Burnt Island? I'm not sure. I've seen both. People say both. So we're going to drive this little beast. Let's zoom in and take a look. It's first time with the Evening Star. And I didn't get to hear the directions to start this up because I was planning on doing something else, so that's fine. Here's the inside of the cab. Oh, it's got water in the glasses. Fantastic. I do like to see that. What I'm looking at is up there. It is slowly resolving the cab. Alright, so how much of this stuff's animated, do you reckon? Let's find out. So, it just says drive to Burntisland. Okay, good-o. So, if we cycle up to the cutoff, and give that a kick in the guts, and let's cycle up to coal and start some coaling. We will start some water because we're going to be moving in a moment. It doesn't simulate it exactly perfectly. Release the brakes, and away we go. So it is animating controls, which is cool, but we'll pop back outside because it'll look better. English Railways being mostly flat. Relatively straightforward on Steam most of the time. Alright, let's start bringing our cutoff back as we accelerate. Let's bring our coal up It's going quite quickly, so I'm going to bring it up to 30. Leave our water where it is for the moment.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard our scenic tour train. My name is Lily Walker, and I'll be your guide today on this spectacular journey from Springfield to Edinburgh.
It's going to talk to us all the way, isn't it?
Trip ahead, travelling through some of Scotland's
Yeah, I bet it up in the last carriage.
landscapes, including the historic Burnt Island docks and the iconic Forth Bridge.
Burnt Island? Well, there's a third way of saying it that I've heard now. Joseph says Burnt Island. Father Jack says popping in to leave a like before heading to bed. Sleep well, mate. Chocky says, and we're back here again. Yes, we're so tired. I'm going to bed, so good night. Good night, Chocky. Sleep well, mate.
Let's start with a quick show.
Cole seems to have stabilised.
How many of you are visiting this area for the first time?
Let's bring our cut-off back down to the minimum now.
And for those of you who've been here before, welcome back. It's always nice to see familiar faces. I'm curious, where is everyone from? If you're comfortable.
Hey, Neil TV.
Your hometown or country?
Scotland.
London.
Australia.
Berlin, Germany.
No one's there from Australia. Not happening.
We got folks from France, Germany, Italy, and even Australia on board today. That's amazing.
Rails, hello.
To see people from all over coming together for this journey. Now, let's see. Who here loves taking photos? Any budding photographers among us? Excellent. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to capture some stunning shots today. It sounds like we have a fantastic group today. I encourage you all to chat with your fellow passengers, share your stories, and make some new friends along the way. You never know. The person sitting next to you might have a great travel tip or an interesting story.
Neil says, I had a play of this and got transported to the UK. You'll get transported to Australia sooner or later.
Ready. And if you have any questions or want to know more about anything we pass by, don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to make your journey as enjoyable and informative as possible. Look at your windows and you'll see the lush fields of the Fife countryside.
I wonder if she ever shuts up.
This region has been the agricultural heartland of Scotland for centuries, providing grain, livestock, and other produce that have sustained communities here for generations. You might even spot some local wildlife if you keep your eyes peeled. I'll give you some time to settle in, and I'll touch base with you all again shortly.
I've never heard a Brit say touch base. That's an American thing. Anyway, as we progress along here, these little blue chevrons you can see there, the chevron with the dot under it, that's essentially a go via or a waypoint from the other familiar game. I better cut my regulator back a bit. Because being a relatively flat railway, even though it's slightly uphill, we're gunning it. And that's okay. Steam engine looks nice. Done a pretty good job on the animations. Generally speaking, actually I want to know if those gates open. Because some of them do. I need to know. Oh, there's a signalman in the box too. Ah, tree! Okay, we're gonna find out. Did they open? I'm thinking it might be a no. There's a lot of ships here. Must be because we're in the dock. Ha ha ha. Ah, that would be a no. Alright then, back with the train. How is everybody today? You doing well? I'll put up a video of what happened with the shunting at the docks, because I think it might be useful for people to understand how to get through that particular scenario, at least until there's a an adjustment to the game. So it won't be adjusted prior to going live, but Paul did think it would be adjusted. Ooh, there's some track missing there. There's no rail on the left-hand side. Huh. Xbox running out of memory, maybe? Don't know. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Ah, it's alright. We can accelerate a little as we go through our signal that's half at danger and half at stop.
We are now passing Ladybank, a small town that has a history closely tied to the development of the railway in the 19th century. Originally a rural village with a focus on agriculture, Ladybank transformed into a thriving railway town with the arrival of the Edinburgh and Northern Railway in 1847. The town became an important railway junction, facilitating the movement of goods and passengers across Scotland.
There's a few tracks missing here and there.
Is known for its railway workshops that provided employment for many local residents.
Ooh, trains clipping in the platform
While the railway
too.
industry was central to Ladybank's growth, agriculture remained a significant part of the town's economy, benefiting from improved transport links. Although the railway's importance declined in the 20th century, Ladybank continues to be connected to Scotland's rail network and remains a vibrant community that reflects both its agricultural roots and industrial heritage.
Yeah, Ladybank's where you deposit your ladies for safekeeping. You can withdraw them later. And of course, because of interest, they grow a little bit while the bank's got them. Unless there's a global lady crisis, in which case they diminish in value severely. Let's just put our regulator back up a little bit, because we're going up a hill now. Joseph says, this is all new to us, observing the game. The graphics look good for the engine is working in, similar to the AP early direction for TS Classic with the EMU. Yeah, it's not too bad, except there's tracks missing. But that might be a memory issue, I hope not. Because if it's a memory issue on the X, then it may not be so pleasant on the S. But I know Paul from M3V watches these videos, so he will see this shortly. So it'll be like this for release, because it's a bit too late to change anything now. Is that a 47 or a 52? I'm not sure. We could go and hunt it down and find out, but nah. I think I might want to give it a bit more coal. Because coal's starting to lack, water's starting to lack as well, so let's do both of those, more coal, more water. Just keep an eye on those now, to see how they adjust. 47, says Joseph, thank you. So Trainz is, if this is your first visit to a Trainz stream, Trainz is a somewhat different game to TSW and TSC and things like that. It's probably, in this version, it's kind of a cross between the two, I guess, because it does have AI in sessions. In Sandbox, you're the AI, you can set whatever trains you want in motion and you have to go and control them all and flit around among them and keep them active or doing whatever you want to do with them. That's in the Xbox version anyway. In the PC version, there's a thing called Trainz Living Railroad, which is a set of... What's the best way to describe it? It's not like Trainz Sim World still, so it doesn't run a timetable, but it has sessions and you can set up stuff to run, and it can get as complex as you want. So that there are intentions to bring that to the Xbox version, but it hasn't got it at the moment. So the Xbox version is their first foray into console. The game comes from N3V, that used to be known as Oran, and that branding is still around here and there. They are a very small Australian shop. They're spread across Australia, their team.
Falkland Road Station opened in the late 19th century. It primarily served the local population, facilitating travel and the transport of goods, particularly agricultural products from the surrounding farmlands. The station played a modest but important role in supporting the local economy and providing connectivity to larger towns and cities.
Well, let me grab something, Neil.
However, like many rural stations, Falkland Road Station saw a decline in use as road transport became more popular and rail services were rationalised, The station was eventually closed to passenger traffic in the mid-20th century, reflecting broader trends in the reduction of rural rail services.
So Trainz,
across the UK.
I think its first version was actually 2001, same year as MSTS. So that was MSTS that I got in 2001. Still got it. I know, I'm a hoarder. And my first Trainz, there it is, 2004. Trainz Railroad Simulator. And stashed in this case, there's also license keys for a couple of DLC. And then there was Trainz 2006, Trainz Railroad Simulator. And similarly in this one, there's stashed some more license keys. In fact, it's got a full manual, that one. It's a whopper. And then came Trainz Simulator 2009, and this was the last one I had physical media for. And I think there's keys in this one too for more DLC. Maybe it's fallen out, but there used to be. Probably lost it. That's okay. Don't need it anyway. So I've had Trainz for a while on PC. It's good to have it on Xbox. We're finally over that hill. Don't be too concerned if you slow down on a hill with a steam engine. You don't have to keep things going hard. There's really no need for it. In fact, I'm going to go back to my regulator now and bring it back down a bit. Gary Mathers, welcome to Engine, and thank you for supporting the channel and me. Joseph says, I remember MSTS. Yeah, so do I. I actually streamed it on its 20th anniversary, and I'll probably run it again on its 25th anniversary, which will be next year. I've still got an old laptop. I think it's even here, actually. Yeah, it's this one. I've got this ancient laptop running Windows XP with MSTS on it. There's nothing else on it, just MSTS. Because it hates later versions of Windows, it really does. You can get it to work, but you have to turn off about 90% of the security in Windows, which I don't like doing. I'll do it on that laptop. Let's just get my water and coal back up again. Because the way it does Steam is a bit weird. That's probably, I'll say it, it's a little bit better than Trainz Sim World Steam. It's not as good as some of the other Steam simulations out there. But there actually are 0 good Steam simulations out there. Take that from someone who actually fires real Steam engines and often does driving stints on them as well. So there are no good ones. There's one that's got promise, which is Century at Steam, but they keep promising to release it and they keep not releasing it, and I'm beginning to wonder, is it just a plaything for the YouTube streamer that's paying for it? I don't know.
It's a history dating back to the early days of the railway in the mid-19th century. It was opened in 1847 as part of the Edinburgh and Northern Railway, which later became part of the North British Railway network. The station was strategically important due to its position on the main line between Edinburgh and Dundee,
complete with a tree on its roof.
Making it a key stop for passengers travelling through Fife.
This is
Markinch
Markinch.
Station also served as a junction for branch lines to Leven and Leslie, which were vital for the transportation of goods, particularly coal and agricultural produce, from the surrounding areas. Over the years, the station facilitated the growth of
I
the
think
Markinch
that
and
gantry
industrial town,
or balcony
especially
is
with the
probably meant to be a
nearby
little more
twice-possible paper mill,
aligned with the signal
relied
box,
on the
maybe.
railway for shipping goods.
Probably doesn't belong out there in free room. But anyway,
Despite the closure
back to the
of some
train.
branch lines and a decline in freight traffic in the latter half of the 20th century, Markinch Station has remained in operation and continues to serve
Neil
as
says
an
mine had a
important
southern locomotive
and
part
has been
of the box
modernised
cover.
over the years,
Yeah, that
ensuring
was-
it remains a vital part of the region's railway network.
So yeah, it was
Today,
6.
Markinch
Yeah.
Station is a well-used stop on the east
Andy says my
main
first
line,
was Train
connecting
Fever and then
major
Pro Train
cities in
Perfect and
Scotland
finally
and
TSC.
beyond.
I've never heard of Pro Train Perfect. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to go find it. Pro Train Perfect. I remember Train Fever. I was never very impressed. It's got later versions of Train Fever, and I'm still not very impressed. Can bring our regulator back now, since we're speeding, because we're naughty. In fact, I'm about to be speeding a lot, so I better put some brakes on. Perhaps some more brakes. Oh, we're finally having an effect.
Slow your train down and stick within the speed limits.
You're naughty! Oh no. I'm aware of that. When it does give you an emergency brake like that, if you press and hold X, you can recover from it. So I'll have to do that again now. As we roll through here.
You're speeding. Slow your train
Oh,
down
be
and
quiet,
stick
you.
within the speed limits.
Thornton became an essential hub for both passenger and freight traffic, serving the coal
Don't try and
mining
read the chat.
industrial areas in central Fife. The station facilitated the transport of coal, goods, and
We've got a green signal up there by the looks of it,
contributing
so we
to
can
the
keep going.
economic development of the region. In the 20th century,
It won't smack us
Thornton
anymore because we're
Station
only just
continued
over
to
the
be a
speed
busy
limit.
junction. But like many
It's interesting how now that I'm not using any steam, the coal
passenger
I've got
services
is
as
still
road transport
reducing.
became more prevalent. The station was eventually closed to passengers in 1969.
Even though I have almost no fire on
despite
now.
a reduction of rail services under the Beeching Cuts, although the junction itself remained active for freight and railway operations.
Alright, let's get that coal stoker hammering the fire. It'll just put it out with fresh coal now. See how we go. I'll just keep a light acceleration on while the coal tries to catch up. Rails says their first trains was 2012, back in around 2014. Remember, got Tane, yes, Trainz a new era between 2017 and 2018. These days you can buy trains outright, or you can get it on their Trainz Plus subscription.
It's one of the many coal mines that played a significant role in the area's industrial history during the 19th and 20th centuries.
The coal
Mine is
mine in
part of
question.
the extensive coal mining industry
You can load and unload here. I don't know if there's any
which was known
sessions
for
that do
its
that. I don't think
coal
there is,
seams.
but
Randolph Colliery was established
you can
in
at
the
least
late 19th
cruise
century
around to your
and
heart's
became a
content. Let's dump off and go and have a
significant
look.
region, with many local families dependent
So
on
those are the
mining for their
merry-go-round
livelihoods.
carriages,
The coal extracted
the ones
from
that just
Randolph was
go
used
through
for
and
various purposes,
never stop,
including powering industries
and going off to the
heating
power
homes,
station.
and supplying the growing railway network.
There's a representation of a coal shovel or a steam shovel. Or it might be engine powered because it hasn't got a stack or anything on it. Back to the train then. Is that coal low in my tender or coal low in the fire? There's an interesting question. Doesn't look low in the tender. Looks like there's plenty in there. Oh well, we'll just keep going. Because as far as I can tell, I've got the stoker up as high as it can go. But we can bring our cutoff back a bit, just to use a bit less. Because if I'm reading that right, that stoker's putting as much in as it can. No, it's going up now. No, and down again. We'll just leave that be. We'll just pretend that's not there. Can't see it. Perfect. That's good. That's the best way to handle every fault in a train. Just pretend it's not there. It's like this not having a left-hand track. We'll just pretend that's not there. And it's fine. And the train will just balance on the right-hand track. It's a monorail. Uh-oh. Now it's a zero rail. Uh-oh. I think I saw a car shadow through the bridge then too. What have we got coming up here? Bit of a freight train, reminiscent of a Hornby railway. Okay, our coal seems to have stabilised at low, So we'll just leave that at the moment. Fire temperatures going up, no, down, up, down, down, up, 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 up. Keep going up. We want more. 437 degrees Celsius is very little. Very, very little. I'd be wanting about 1200 degrees Celsius, just personally. Just personally. That's kind of what I want. But that's okay. That's not what we're going to get. Hello to Pete. Andy says, do you think Centuries of Steam might get it better with the simulation of steam engines? It's got promise. They're saying it's awesome. My fear is that it will reduce firing to mechanical, put it in the right place in the box, and everything will be fine. Whereas engines are a little more complicated than that. So each of our engines, for example, wants to be fired in a different place. Now that we're going downhill, we'll go into full forward and just roll. And get ready on the brakes. Hopefully the coal will catch up, because I'm not using any steam at all.
We're passing through Sinclair Town, a district in the town of Kirkcaldy. Its history is closely tied to the industrial development of Kirkcaldy.
Joseph says, nice, was my best friend's family PC. We used to play it back then. Got to Inverness train station on Friday nights and walk around the sleeper and the Class 66 back in 2001, when the staff were okay. Yeah, it's a different era now, isn't it? You can't really go and just wander around anymore, can you?
Coal mining and linoleum production. Sinclair Town was gradually incorporated into the larger town. The district became a hub for workers who were employed in the nearby factories and
Lots of
mines,
shunting
and
opportunities
developed
here
into
in
a bustling
Sandbox.
residential area with housing, shops and schools to support the
So
growing
lots of track
population.
going all over the place. As we continue to roll, our coal is slowly recovering. Oh no, it's going down again now. Which is bizarre, because I'm not using any steam
On
at
the
all.
left is Kirkcaldy Harbour. It has a history.
So my
that
steam
dates
chest
back to
pressure
the
is in
early
fact
medieval
0.
period, though it became particularly significant during the 16th century. The harbour was originally a small fishing port, but it expanded and grew in importance as Kirkcaldy developed
It's our
into
little
a
town
major
over there.
industrial town. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Kirkcaldy Harbour became a key centre for trade and commerce, particularly for the export of coal and salt from the Fife coal fields. The harbour also played a crucial role in the town's famous linoleum industry, which began in the 19th century.
Yes, linoleum,
produced
where we
in
mix
Kirkcaldy
polyvinyl
was
chloride
worldwide, and the
and
harbour was
asbestos.
vital for shipping these
Brilliant.
During its peak, the harbour was
Hello to you,
bustling with
Pete.
activity,
Welcome.
with ships arriving and
Andrew
departing
says it was
regularly.
Pro-Train Perfect
However,
2. Oh,
like many traditional
2.
harbours, Kirkcaldy Harbour
Well,
suffered
let's
decline in the
write that
20th
down.
century as
Pro-Train
industrial
Perfect 2.
activities
I'm going to go and
diminished
find that.
and larger,
If
more
it still
modern
exists,
ships
if I can
took
get hold of it,
advantage of the maritime trade.
if I can make it work on a modern computer, or it might be a second install on the old computer. It's a big factory coming up, either that or a castle, but I think it's a factory. As we continue to cruise through, with our coal, I think, slowly recovering, and our fire still very, very cold. 436 degrees Celsius is nothing. But that's okay, because we're just rolling. We're not actually doing anything. The reason I go to full cutoff, by the way, or full forward on the regulator when we're rolling, it's a practice that's done on our railway. I know it's not done everywhere, but basically it gives the best possible opportunity. So if you've got a Detroit lubricator, the kind that mixes the oil in with the steam, a hydrostatic lubricator, going into full cutoff with your valves open the most gives the best chance to get some oil actually into the cylinders. Whereas if you've got less cutoff and the valve isn't open very much, you may not get much in there because you've not got much steam going in there. Because even when your steam chest pressure is on 0, you still need to lubricate the cylinders. And he says, okay, Pro-Train is Tane, and Pro-Train Perfect was a bit different, more like MSTS. You can find it on the 3D Zug page. 3D Zug. 3D Zug. Okay. No first person? Yes, there is, Emmanuel. I can go into the cab. You can't manipulate controls in here, but when you do things, so if I go to the regulator, if I increase the regulator, you can see it is moving the regulator lever. And if I change the cutoff, you can see there, just do that. So we'll bring that down. And it's a steam-assisted reverser on this one, which is quite nice because that means it doesn't try and break your arms when you want to move it, because that's what reversers do. Water level's quite good in here. In fact, water's probably getting a bit too high. So let's just cut our water way back. Normally, a steam injector is either on or off. There's none of this percentage of what water's going in there. You can finesse them a little bit and trim them with the water valves to get a little bit less water in there, but it's still pretty much on and off. It's not much difference between the valve half open and the valve all the way open. You can also hop off the train and walk around, but I won't do that while we're moving because it's hard to get back on. Pete says, good to see you and catch one of your streams. Thank you. Well, it'll be a bit easier for you soon because you go into daylight saving. So you come out of daylight savings. We've just gone in, so our time zones will get a little closer again.
We are now passing Kinghorn, a historic coastal town. In the 11th century,
You know, this caravan park needs the grass mowed.
Royalty. King Alexander III of Scotland is famously connected to the town, as he tragically died in 1286.
Must be the zombie apocalypse.
Horse near Kinghorn, an event that led to a period of turmoil in Scottish history. During the medieval period,
Is it merry-go-round
Kinghorn
train?
developed as a royal borough, and it became an important centre for trade and fishing. The town's natural harbour facilitated the export of local goods.
I love some of these old posters.
Helped
Let's have a look.
thrive economically.
Sprat's dog cakes.
Kinghorn also has a
Sprat's
history as a
patent puppy
seaside
cakes.
resort, particularly in the 19th and early 20th centuries, when
Oxo.
the advent of railways
What's that?
made it accessible to
Sunlight
tourists from
soap.
Edinburgh and beyond. The town's sandy beaches and scenic views attracted visitors, contributing to its local economy.
We're in a tunnel. Have we stopped? We have stopped. I must have been speeding. Never mind. Interesting, I didn't hear it yell at me. Off we go again after it releases the brakes properly. We'll get moving. Honest. It'll work. Honest. There it goes. Lord Vectron, hello to you. We are back in Trainz. I have a hard stop of just before 11 AM Australian Eastern Daylight Time today, because I have another thing I have to attend. And we'll just leave coal and water. And I think water we might actually cut it off completely, to be honest. That's getting a little full, that boiler. It's getting just a little bit full. And the water in the glass does actually reflect that too, which is good. I like that. I like that that's simulated. Because the first thing you check when you climb into a steam engine, or even as one goes past you, is you glance and see how much water there is in the glass. I can bring my cutoff right back down because we're going downhill, so I don't need to work hard to accelerate down here. Not at all. Weirdly, our fire temperature is going up. Even though I am piling coal in there at 100% of the rate of the stoker. That's alright. So I know a lot of people have been looking forward to a competitor to Trainz Sim World to come to consoles, but I do need to say and just, I think, chill that a little bit, because I think people have been overhyping, and I don't want people to be disappointed. This is Trainz. It is a simulator, but it's aimed It started out life as a model railway simulator, and it gradually became a rail simulator. And it is good, don't get me wrong. It's fun. It's a little more arcadey than Serious Simulator. But I find it fun to run. I mean, you guys have known, I've streamed it quite often. I think this one must have a mechanical stoker, Lord Victron. Yeah, and it does have a very different... It's attracting... It'll have a crossover between TSW players and Trainz players for sure, because it'll pick up players that are interested in trains and they want a simpler experience, because you don't need to figure out, okay, this train's got this lever and this one's got this lever and I've got to push this button and I've got to do this and I've got to do that like you have to do with TSW. So Trainz has the same control interface. There's one for diesels and there's one for steam. And the diesel one is... I don't think I've actually ever seen an electric train in Trainz, just thinking about it. I wonder, have I? I'm really not sure. But anyway, it's got the two control interfaces, steam and diesel. And it's the same all the time. I think people used to TSW are going to struggle with the control mapping on this. It's taken me quite a while to get used to it. I am used to it now. Although I still occasionally forget to cycle before I do something, because you have to cycle around the controls. So Y cycles between the different brakes, and X cycles between the different controls to do with firing and driving. We have a 50 zone coming up. I don't think I care, because we're only doing 40, because I'm going easy since we're heading downhill anyway. We've got a 15 mile an hour coming up. Way, let's just get that happening. I've just noticed there's a 15 coming up very soon, right after that 50. We have to get our speed down a bit, which we're going to do, I think. We're going to be fine. There we go. Let's get the brakes off now. They'll keep going. And we can probably even put a little bit back into it at this point. Yeah, Lord Vectron says it won't be a direct comparison. Looks like a different focus. Yeah, that's it exactly. Fred Zilla's Trainz, hello to you. Welcome along.
One of the busiest in Scotland, handling everything from coal and grain.
Lord Vectron says, when I got used to it, playing as the driver in TSW really appeals to me for immersion.
Old warehouses and quaysides that tell the story of Scotland's maritime heritage. Keep your cameras ready. This is a perfect spot for some photos.
Perfect spots for photos, eh? So we do this, right? Is that what it wants?
The docks have played a significant role in Scotland's maritime and industrial heritage, serving as a hub of commerce, trade and shipbuilding. Buntisland's maritime history stretches back to the medieval period, but the town's prominence as a port began to grow significantly in the 16th and 17th centuries.
I'm glad I noticed that 15.
Buntisland provided a safe anchorage for ships, and its strategic location on the Firth of Forth made it an important port for trade between Scotland and continental Europe.
Yeah, who decided it was the Firth of Forth?
Buntisland docks expand as the town became increasingly involved in the export of coal, one of Scotland's most valuable commodities at the time. The coal trade, coupled with the export
I'm about to get yelled at for speeding, aren't I? It's a Class 08, the little Gronk. I hope those points are set straight. They are. Brilliant.
The 19th century was a period of significant growth for Buntisland. In 1847, the docks were connected to the Scottish Railway network through the opening of the
Gronk in a 47?
Railway, which enhanced the town's role as
I've given some really heavy feedback on the Gronk because I'm really not happy with it.
One of the most notable aspects
Who knew it had a blower?
History
Wow.
is its role in the world's first roll-on/roll-off railway ferry service.
It might put me on the Gronk.
In
It did.
1850,
All
a
right.
ferry service was established between Buntisland and Granton, near Edinburgh, which allowed
I think I'm
railway
actually on the
wagons
tender.
to
There's another
navigate
Gronk moving.
directly onto the ferry.
Awesome.
This innovation was a major technological advancement of the time and remained in operation until the construction of the fourth bridge in 1890, which provided a direct railway link across the first.
Nice to see some cranes animating there in the background. I think we might do another screenshot here since that one's
In
uploaded.
the late 19th and early 20th
You see that crane running over there?
Guntersland also
Unloading a
became
ship?
known for its shipbuilding industry. Several shipyards were established in the town where various types of vessels, including cargo ships and warships, were constructed. The shipbuilding industry provided employment for many local residents and contributed to the town's economic
Ooh,
growth.
that's steep.
During World War II, Guntersland docks played a crucial role in the war effort. The docks were used for the construction and repair of naval vessels, and the town was a key supply point for the Allied forces. After the war, however, the docks and the town's shipbuilding industry began to decline. As
Look at her in a
global
screenshot.
economic changes
Why not?
And the shift to containerization and shipping reduced the need for traditional dock facilities. In the latter half of the 20th century, Guntersland docks saw a decline in commercial activity, but the town has worked to preserve its rich maritime heritage. The docks are still in use today, though on a smaller scale, primarily handling bulk cargo such as grain and timber. The docks, while no longer as busy as they once were, continue to be a vital part of Guntersland's identity and serve as a reminder of the town's significant contributions to Scotland's industrial and maritime history.
Couple of
We will
container
be stopping
cranes.
up ahead. Please feel free to disembark and join us on a brief tour of one of the warehouses.
So a warehouse tour sounds grand to me. Yeah, I've got all our tracks back now. Maybe it's a speed thing. Just cruise along to our stopping point up there. So there are differences. You can't, for example, get a list of the points that you're going to be calling at during your session. And they are called sessions. I called them scenarios in the first video out of habit, but no, they're called sessions. Might actually have to put some power into this. A little bit. So we actually get there. Generally, the highest fidelity thing in trains is the trains themselves, and they do look quite nice, the modern ones. You can't. There's no DLCs for the Xbox version, so it's what you get in the game is what you've got. There's quite a lot of locomotives. There's actually more than they list on the cover, if you like. There's quite a lot, because everything that comes with that route is there. Same as it was on the PC, so you can use them in the sandbox as much as you care to. This route has got my favourite, the Class 20. I do like a Class 20. Another animating crane. There's a submarine out there on the left. Look, out there. I think I better give this some power. We're not getting there. Or we might just get there really, really slowly. One or the other. We finally got some coal in the firebox again. We're back up to 50%. We're using our water, but I don't care because we're stopping up here anyway. Is that going to be good enough? Yep. Here's our warehouse tour, I guess. I know, now we're just going to drive out again.
I do hope everyone has enjoyed the journey up to this point. It's time to leave the docks now. As we reverse back up to the main line, continue to look around and take in this truly amazing historical location. I'll continue on with more information once we make our way up the coastline.
So we have to go into reverse now. I won't bother going up to full cut-off because it's flat. We've still got water and coal going in. So Cody Cundiff, hello. This is Trainz Simulator World Tour on the Xbox Series X. It will be releasing on October the 24th. I've got another stop point back there that's probably just outside the dock though, I suspect, as we cruise along. I just mentioned I forgot to cycle sometimes, and I did. I changed the regulator instead of changing the cutoff, which is what I wanted to do. Hello, Choo Choo on a Train. Yes, this is a new train simulator to Xbox. It's certainly not a new train simulator. Trainz has been around since I think 2001. I think I got that right this time. I think on my first video I said something stupid like 2012, but no, that was just totally wrong. And it's grown through various editions. On PC, we're currently on Trainz 2024. PC has a lot more functionality than the console one, but they're basically waiting to see. So I've had good conversations with the people at N3V, and they're basically waiting to see how this does. So before they invest any more heavily in it, because it's been a rather expensive exercise for them to get this to happen. If it does well, there are intentions for PlayStation after this. And if it continues to do well, there would be other expansion plans in the future. Whether they can bring the route building surveyor into here is unknown at this time, because there are challenges with consoles around content creation, in that the console platforms like to validate everything, which can make stuff difficult when you're thinking about user-generated content, because how does that get validated? How does it get checked? How do the console platform people assure themselves that it's not possible to create dangerous content, for example? I'm just keeping the cutoff on 45 because we're going to be pushing uphill at a moment. Joren says, I want to thank you for all your nice tutorials here on YouTube. It helped me out a lot. Whenever I don't understand how a train works, I look on your channel for it and everything is covered. Oh, fantastic, Joren. If ever anything comes up that you think needs an extra visit, or you need some additional information, let me know in the comments for that train, because I'm happy to do things like that when I've got the time to do it. I can't always do it straight away, but I can always put it on the list. The list has a book that I write things down in that I need to do. Don't know where you're going. There you go, that way. Okay, fair enough. Little 40. Oh, you are going this way. What are you doing? I'm just playing around here, boss. I'm having fun. It literally is going forwards and then going backwards. It's just there to provide some line-side viewing, I suspect. We'd better go back to our train, which means I had better get away from this one. Because if you try and attach to a train... Look at the hill that's parked on. That's just impressive. If you try and attach to a train that's... Or try to attach back to your train, and you're close to another one, it'll just jump to that one. Well, it's setting some junctions for me in the background, I just saw. Now the question is, does it want me to stop with the back of my train on that marker or the front? Let's go up there and just have a bit of a look-see and see where that marker is as we get closer to it. I think that marker's back out on the main line, so it's probably the front of my train. Here comes another Class 8. We'll go right through it. You can just go through stuff in trains. There is no collision, which is, I actually find it cool. One of the things to me that was the most jarring when Trainz Sim World came out was this concept of invisible walls, because I understand that the investment in scenery is close to the line, and when I get further away from the line, bad things happen, so it doesn't look visually pleasing, or you might fall through the world. I understand that. I think most players understand that. I rather have this experience where I can go wherever I want. So if I want to detach the camera, for example, and go up here, as far as I want, I just can. I know the scenery's going to run out, and I'll just follow the world. That's okay. I know sooner or later I'll actually fall off the edge of the world. That's fine with me. So I prefer this to the invisible wall concept. I'm thinking it's actually the back of the train that it wants on that marker, because we are very much on the main line now. But yeah, let's stop here. It may even want me to move ahead again. No, it's dropping, isn't it? No, it's happy. Drive back to the main line. Done that. Stop on the 4th bridge. Okay, good-o. So we're going ahead again. Let's get our reverser back to forwards. Again, we're on kind of more or less flat ground, so I'm not going to go hard on the regulator. I don't need to. I am going to put some water in, though, because... Oops, wrong button. Correct button. Let's put a bit of water in, because we're going to start using it. We have the signal. Hopefully we have a path. Lord Vectron says dev kits are expensive for consoles. They are, yes. Cody says, I've been having my eyes on Railroader. I'm just seeing if I'm able to drive the trains. Oh, you won't have any dramas in Railroader, mate. It's quite straightforward. It's even simpler than this. So don't have any concerns about being able to drive the trains. You can drive them prototypically if you want to, but you certainly don't have to in Railroader. You just go, hey, train, go here, and it just does. It just does it by itself. So you don't have you don't have to do anything particularly challenging in Railroader unless you want to. If you want to, you can be as prototypical as you want. Alright, let's keep this moving. Joran says, understand they can't be done right away. Cool. Rail says, how do railroads or any company in general split but not completely merge or acquire the company it wants to consolidate with another business partner? They just buy each other. And often that's just a deal done on paper and nothing really happens. But sometimes they buy them and then they get assets stripped, which means that everything that it owns gets sold to finance the acquisition, and then they throw it away. Because often companies buy a competitor to destroy it, not to continue with it. As sad as that is. Lord Mectron says, God mode in Trainz Sim. Yes. I don't God mode on stream, but I'd be lying if I said I'd never run the mod. But I don't do it on stream quite deliberately, because I want to show people what they're really getting. Although, maybe I could do a God mode stream and show you what that does. There's an idea. Joran says, I started WTS 4 on Xbox, then WTS 5 on PlayStation, and I recently bought WTS 6 Special Edition on PS5. I got all those enabled, and I didn't catch fire yet. Yeah, PS5 Pro has got more memory, so I think you mean TSW too, rather than WTS. But yeah, the PS5 Pro is a little better off than the PS5 because it's got more memory. and that is helpful. And while the game's not built to take advantage of the PS Pro features, because it's got more memory, it's more survivable. Which side would we go on? I think that side. There's a nice side for a screenshot. I'm publishing lots of screenshots to make everybody else jealous. Not really. It's just to show off the game in another place. Because people see these Xbox screenshots turning up and they think, can I have them? Can I have that? And yes, you can, on October the 24th. Not very far away now. So yesterday I recorded the material I need for a tutorial for how to manage the game. And I've got to say, there's nothing really difficult in Trainz. It is fairly straightforward. As you can see, on the track graphic down below, forgotten what N3V call it. Apologies for that. You can see that the signals are either red or green. It just tells you in advance. You can see all your speeds. You can see everything else. There's a class 20. Excellent. I like a little class 20. Let's follow it. We could jump on it, but probably not. And you can see the scripting system changing points and setting paths every now and again. That's what all those green and red flashes are. That's just how this Trainz system works. We are going slightly uphill, so I'll keep the cutoff where it is. Water seems stable. Coal seems stable, so we'll just keep going the way we are. Seems happy. Lord Vectron says, if you fall off the world, can you snap back to the loco? When you fall off the world here, you don't really. You just run out of world. It just ends. You're just hanging there in space. And yes, you can snap back to the loco. You can go back there anytime you want. It's all good. Get a bit more regulator on and we might not get up this hill. Jeroen says it runs like a charm. About the layers, do you have a video about that? I see a lot of layers I don't own. Does that mean the trains are not visible in the traffic? Now, if you don't own them, you won't see them. So if you go into the layers menu, and I think I do have a video about layers, actually, a TSW6 tutorial about layers, or a thing about what's different in TSW6, one or the other. I've done so many videos for TSW6, there's about 45 or something stupid. I kind of forget which one's which. But there is definitely one in there that does talk about layers, and it'll be in the description or the title, so if you look through the list, you'll find it. Just do search inside this playlist. Heading up to Abadua. Cruising up the hill here. With the layers, if you look through that... So you go into the timetable and look at all the timetable runs that you've got, or the diagram runs as they call them. And in there's a layers menu. Go into that layers menu. Anything that's not owned will be greyed out, and it should say not owned. So if that's something that is actually available, then you can go and buy that and you'll be able to use it, and it will appear as AI, and often you can drive them. Not always. Sometimes they're only AI. Interestingly enough, TSW6 is self-leaking because that layers menu often includes stuff that doesn't exist yet. And you can go, oh, look at that. There's a Birmingham to Crewe route coming out. And as we found out a couple of days ago, yes, there is. We've got quite a bit of information on Birmingham Crewe now. Look at that fire now, 844 degrees Celsius. So what is so different to the way I'm driving now as I was before? Or was it just running out of coal? Was that the issue? Because coal's going backwards again at this point. But we are going uphill. Given that this thing doesn't simulate the cutoff terribly well, I might even just go back to the running level for cutoff. And we'll see what happens. Let's see if it slows down on the hill now. Lord Vectron says, keen for Birmingham for Crewe and the 805. I am as well. A friend of mine operates on that route, and I've ridden it. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. Lord Vectron says it's good to have another Pendo line, but 50 miles might be too short. Nah, I think it'll be alright. It's a good run. I think we might need a little bit more water. What do you think? I think we might need a little bit more water.
Aberdour Station played a key role in transforming Aberdour into a popular seaside resort, attracting visitors from Edinburgh and beyond with its easy rail access. Known for its charming Victorian architecture and beautifully maintained gardens, the station quickly became a beloved landmark.
I'm on a bridge. Ah, I'm on a train. There's the traditional lady in red. You find her everywhere in Scotland, apparently. Aberdour. Fourth bridge is still a few miles away yet, so we've got a bit of a hill to climb. We can give it a bit more fang, but like I said earlier, don't be afraid to run your steam engines slower when you're going uphill, because in real life they often did. They often did not cope that well with gradients. It's one of the reasons, one of the many, many reasons steam engines were replaced by diesels, and it was such an easy transition. Diesels or electric, because they just romp up the hills. Unless you're in America, in which case you go up the hill at 12 mile an hour. Jerome says, I'll have a look for it. Thank you very much. I can buy that from the layer menu. A bit overwhelmed by the many add-ons they have. I also bought the S-Bahn route. I think it's great. Yeah, make sure you keep an eye out for sales, Jerome, because there's less on console and PlayStation. I believe Xbox is having a sale right now, and so is Steam. Keep an eye out for the sales because you can pick up older content. So on Steam, for example, you can pick up, I think TSW 2020 for I think it's $6 Australian or $7 Australian or something crazy like that. And that gets you 3 routes, including Great Western Express. So if you don't have it, that's the route that's going to be upgraded for free soon if you've already got it. So be a bit canny about the sales on the platforms. Choo Choo on a Train is busy building the new PC. Ah, what if you set yourself up with Choo Choo? That's always fun, building a PC. It's always a little bit stressful when you take your $1,000 processor and plonk it into your $500 motherboard and then stick in what these days is often a $2,000 or $3,000 graphics card. It's just mental. My first car costs less than my GPU, and that's just mental. Just mental. C says, I think I figured out why the 37 isn't showing. I assume it's because I haven't got the 86 game pack. Which route is that, C? And if you look in your layers menu, it will tell you where that 37 comes from. So I can't do that right now because we're playing a different game. But otherwise I'd show you. Given I'm playing the game on the Xbox, which is actually over there, but I'm still playing it on my PC because I'm clever. Not really. I'm just playing it through the capture card. In fact, when I look at it over on the 4K monitor, it actually looks quite a lot nicer than what I'm looking at because I'm running the preview screen in OBS is what I'm playing on. Mainly because if I sit over here to play it on the screen, it's a little unfriendly for you guys. I think we're holding okay on water. Coal's doing kind of okay. It's going backwards, but, you know. That's because it's burning like crazy, even though I don't need it anymore. So it's fireman's not the cleverest thing on the planet. But that's okay. Rail said steam locomotives had more horsepower than diesels, torque and traction-wise. No, that's not true, actually. In terms of diesel locomotives, they have smaller wheels, means less contact surface area. No, that's not true either. The big wheels are purely about speed. The bigger the wheels, the less powerful. So small wheels give you more power, That's all that is. So it's not about contact area. The contact area of a railway wheel. So if I got something round here, I do. Let's use this. So this is a travel plug, but the content end of a rail wheel is just that tiny slice at the bottom. And usually because the track's like this sort of shape and the wheel's this sort of shape, that's the best way to hold that so you can see it's like this sort of shape, only that tiny area on my knuckles is what's contacting. It's a really small area.
Slow your train down
Oh,
and stick within the speed
be quiet,
limits.
you. I don't want to. I'm explaining stuff. Yeah, let's release your brakes now. You've had enough. Gravity will win anyway. In fact, gravity won't win because we're about to go uphill. And I'm not watching. Got lots of coal, lots of water. Let's crank it. So it's true that a steam engine can do more work with less horsepower because that's because of how it
On the
works.
right,
It's
you
the
can see
expansive
the
of
yard.
steam. It's
The
physics.
yard played a crucial role in handling and distributing coal, timber and other goods, leveraging its strategic location near the Firth of Forth and its proximity to key
And it's
railway
Frank's.
lines and the Rosyth dockyard.
Is that where they make hot dogs?
Furthermore, Inverkeithing Yard was instrumental in supporting the local industries and the nearby shipbuilding and naval operations, especially during both World Wars. It facilitated the movement of materials crucial to the war effort and the broader economy. Inverkeithing Station was a key junction connecting various lines, including routes to Edinburgh, Dundee and Perth, and later serving as a vital link for the Forth Bridge after its completion in 1890. The station facilitated both passenger and freight transport, playing a significant role in the region's industrial development, particularly during the heyday of the coal and shipbuilding.
Rough handling. Excessive curve speed. Yes. Smash that train. See, that would have been what you call route knowledge, which I don't have. So you'd know that the points through that station were a bit crap, and you'd slow down because you know they're a bit crap. It's like there's points on my railway where we go slower than what the posted speed limit is because we know that it's got a wrong cant, or it's got a bit of track that was recycled from a curve that went the other way maybe, and it's a bit wiggly or something like that. So as train crew, we just know that stuff's there and we just handle it. There doesn't need to be a sign that tells you about it. But that
On the
unfortunately
left, you
implies
see the
route
Inverkeithing
knowledge.
docks. The docks also played a role in supporting local industries, including shipbuilding and naval operations, particularly during the early 20th century and the World Wars.
That's where our last
The
scenario was,
materials
down there.
salvaged
That's
from
where we
ships
were,
used in
shunting away down
various
there.
industries, contributing to the local economy.
Say hello to the dock workers. As you do. Jeroen says, money not really an issue here. Oh, lucky you. If I want something, I just get it. And this Trainz Sim world is getting out of hand quick. Yeah, you can spend a lot of money on it. So that's why I tell people, particularly with the older content, with the newer stuff, you might not want to wait because it's brand new. Oh, I think we need to do a bit of a gratuitous bridge shot here, because we can do this. And we can zoom out a bit, and we can do that again. Why not? Why not waste the internet and fill it up with pictures of trains? Why wouldn't you? I can see the giant bridge coming up in the distance there. C says, it's annoying me a little today. The Flying Scotsman decided to show that's a start. I bought West Coast Mainline over Shap today, though. Cool. I hope you enjoy that, C. It's it can be a tough run over Shap. You get used to it quick enough, but it may catch you by surprise in a few instances. Still climbing up towards Queen's Ferry. There's the big road bridge there. So that's the one of the ones next to the Forth Bridge. There's actually 3 bridges quite near each other. Where does that track go? It just disappears off into the sand.
Just up ahead, the Forth Bridge will start to come into view.
In the tunnel. I doubt it. C says, no manners, yes. Oh, you mean manners like you had no manners? No, hey, whatever, mate. It's all good. I thought you meant no manners as in the steam engine. Yes, there's no manners in TSW. Den Baker, hello. Seems there's a lot to sort with things like missing rails and platform clipping and passenger doors opening. The passenger doors don't open in trains, so don't expect that. It just doesn't do it. Don't expect too much, and you'll be really happy. Sam's Train says physics. Yes, that's it. Physics. We're supposed to stop on the bridge, so I probably
The Forth Bridge is one of the most iconic and significant railway bridges in the
better
world.
start dumping the regulator.
Spanning the Firth of Forth between South Queensferry and North Queensferry, the bridge was completed in 1890 and is renowned for its innovative engineering and distinctive cantilever design. The bridge was built to connect Edinburgh with Fife and the north of Scotland, significantly improving transportation and trade. Designed by Sir John Fowler and Sir Benjamin Baker, the Forth Bridge was a groundbreaking achievement in civil engineering, particularly for its use of steel and its ability to withstand the harsh conditions of the Firth of Forth. It stretches 1.5 miles, 2.5
Choo Choo says 9800 3D, X870 motherboard, and a few unplanned extras to keep the mid-range graphics card for a while.
Construction of the bridge
That's all right,
took
man.
over 7 years and involved more than 4,500
CPU is
The Forth
often more
Bridge has
important
become
than
a
people think
symbol
it
of
is.
Scotland's industrial heritage and
I do often run into
engineering
people
prowess.
running on, in Intel land, for example,
The
you're
Forth
not, but
Bridge
in Intel
remains
land with
used
someone running on an
proudly
i5 and they're going, why doesn't Trainz Sim World run very well?
Stands
I've
as a
got a
testament to
5090.
ingenuity
And I go, because your
and
CPU's shit.
determination of its creators.
It can't keep up.
Its striking appearance and historical importance make it a celebrated landmark in Scotland and across the world.
Bit of a hitch there. I think it's a bit of a hitch when it drops that graphic, because I've never seen hitching during the game, really. It's a really old engine, this graphic engine, but it's grown up over the years and its fidelity has improved quite a bit. It started out looking remarkably like Trainz Sim Classic, which was, we look, not Trainz Sim Classic, MSTS. You look back on that and you think, wow, that looked awful. But today's, it's quite okay. Let's just bring our water back a bit. Otherwise we're going to fill the boiler up, and that would be boring. Because that's when you get black spots all over your locomotive and you have to climb on it and clean it. Ask me how I know. Because, if you get black spots all over your locomotive, you never bring it home like that. You stop somewhere and you clean it. Pete says, have you experienced the issues with the 150 on Riviera? I haven't run it since the patch came out, so I haven't actually seen it. I've been doing some things on the house, and I've been shopping with the other half and recording all the material for a tutorial for this, so I haven't actually touched TSW since the patch came. Can't do everything, as they say. Is that an HST? It is an HST, look at that. A blue one. A Pullman. How about that? I think we're supposed to stop soon. More brakes. More brakes. Yes, not paying attention. Typical me.
We will stop briefly to allow you to remain inside the passenger wagons and capture the stunning view on offer.
Yes, remain inside the train. Wait for passengers to take pictures. It's like a little stop symbol with a hand on it there. Tick tock, tick tock. C says, sorry, I meant me with no manners. Yep. Well, there's no manners either, so, it works both ways. Not even a Grange. Lord Vectron says, West Coast Mainline chap is still his favourite. C's got a notepad and mark the neutral zones down or you'll have a bad time. Yes, don't blow the switch. It's easy enough to fix. Vectron says, I use the distance markers to the next station as a reference point. You could always read the mileposts on the line too. That would work. C says, NGL, this is Birmingham. Right, Birmingham. I've never seen someone say BAM before. Bam, bam.
The fourth bridge has to offer.
Crew route is looking fire. Yep. Well, hopefully you'll like it.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the final leg of our journey as we roll on into Edinburgh. If you have any questions about anything you've seen throughout the journey, please come and ask.
Did she say please come and ask? You know, an interesting thing is you would rarely stop a train on a bridge because they're designed to cope with live loads, not static loads. Hey, release the brakes. Get off. It put them back on again. No, stop it with your brakes. Piss off. We want to drive. I don't know why it was putting the brakes on then. Maybe it hadn't released it from the session. So the session script was going, oh, you're not meant to be driving yet. We don't have a path beyond Edinburgh by the looks of it. It's not a bad little whistle. It works quite well. For those who need to know, you can't quill it. Let's use some of this coal. I've got plenty in there after all. It does actually make different sounds with the different cut-off settings, which I like. Den says, at least there's hope more steam locomotives will come in trains compared to TSW. It's a shame as Riviera Line is screaming for a hall or a castle. There are tons of steam locomotives in trains on PC, so yeah, wait and see what the future brings. If it does well enough, I would expect they'll expand on console. It's interesting that I don't appear to have a path. Does this mean we're changing tracks? Because that's red. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, let's wait and see what happens. Because I'm not expecting to have to change tracks. But we are. Okay. We're going to go wrong line now. Alright. Whatever. And I've got a red signal, which I'm ignoring.
Past the signal and danger. You must stop when the signal is red.
Nah, I don't care.
Unfortunately, that means your training ends here.
Well, that was interesting. Well, we're just going to keep going. No, we're not. Alright, we'll reload from our save point. And maybe we'll stop this time. I was looking at it going, what's it doing that for? I have to wonder if that's a wrong path. I really do. Hopefully it has a convenient save point and it didn't. Hopefully it saved at the bridge. We can hope that. Because, you know, otherwise we're going to do all that again. Goody. And I was hoping to get to Orbost today, so... in the sandbox mode, you can pass red signals as much as you want. Oh, good, we're on the bridge. Good stuff. Good stuff. We'll just have this stop and then I'll behave myself. So if I actually change those points... Yeah, look at that. So the points are set wrong. So I've just changed the points ahead of me using D-pad left. Isn't that interesting? Paul, when you're watching, you know what to do. I think that's probably a bug. And that's okay. Den says, oh yeah, we've covered that. C says, oh, Vectron, first time I had a go, it was a scenario snowing in the dark. I couldn't see any neutral sections, so that was fun. Oh yeah, that was, yeah, that would be difficult. Let's get the regulator back to 0. I'll leave the cutoff where it is for the moment. And this time we might actually stop on the marker. What do you think? It's my watch reminding me its battery's running out. I better charge it. It's going, oi, I'm empty. It's better. We'll do another one of these on this side. Why not? Can. There's our Pullman again. Right on time. What am I on the loco brake for? I did that, just saying. Alright, let's stop this little beast here. She will stop at some point. There's another nice look for a screenshot, isn't it? There we go.
We will stop briefly to allow you to remain inside the passenger wagons and capture the stunning view on offer.
And don't stick your head out of the drop light windows, because GWR just got fined £1 million for a lady that was killed in 2021, I think, because she did something stupid and stuck her head out the drop light window and got hit by a tree, I believe. And I was looking at a video podcast on the on YouTube yesterday about it. And some of the comments, people going, oh, you should cut down all the trees, but they probably can't do that because there's ecological and environmental laws which are in conflict with the safety laws. So, you know, they have to, where are they going to go? They're just a bit stuck. Let's catch up with the comments while we're here. Vectron crying, and this is so weird seeing train pass and hardly any noticeable raindrops.
You managed to capture the moment and take in
It is kind of cool, isn't it? No hitching. It's an engine without hitching. Rail says if you've watched the Polar Express, they've replicated the clock tower of the Pullman plant in downtown Chicago and the city's deep south side. That's a different Pullman. That's a different company.
Any questions about anything?
And C says, I thought you passed it then for a photo, but you've actually stopped. Yeah. All right, we'll just wait a little moment for it to do its thing, because if I release the brakes, it's probably going to go. But let's prepare. Just go to 52, because this is flat. Column water's a little high. A little high. Sorry, driver. Water's a little high, mate. It's going to spit everywhere. All right, let's release the brakes and get out of here. Oh, you fall in the water. Never mind. We'll get a camera angle. We will. Yeah, put the brakes on again, so it's something to do with the scenario. Sorry, session. Session. Bad. Naughty. Okay. Vectron says reading mileposts is too hard because they're too small and going too fast. You need more resolution. When I get into it after a few runs, I start recognise the area and approach things I have some minor route knowledge. There's also signs warning you they're about a mile off. Will you stop putting the brakes on, game? That proves it to me that this is a session issue. And what's interesting is I know that there was beta testing for this because I was in it. So I think that issue might be... did I get this far in the beta test? I didn't do Orbost in the beta test because I'd run the real one. So, yeah. C says, I like a challenging learning new things, a better route to do it on. Yeah, no, it's cool. So go for the challenge. Let's go back to our train. There's a lighthouse down there. And it works. It's got a light in it. That's cool. So it's interesting when you say that Trainz doesn't have the fidelity of the world with TSW, but in a lot of ways it's actually got more fidelity because there's animated stuff. So while the graphics are not TSW level, the trains are TSW level, but a lot of the scenery's not. There's a lot more stuff going on. So you see people moving, you see cranes, you see trucks, you see buses, you see tractors ploughing fields. There's all sorts of stuff that you just spot from time to time. Oof we go. And just so we don't have to wait, not that menu, we'll do a quick save. That way we don't have to wait for the bridge thing if something bad happens. Den says that was quite the curveball, and Spad, yes, catching up with that. Straya asks, I heard this game has Australian tracks, and if so, have you played them? I have on PC. We are working our way towards getting into Australia. I kind of think this is the last UK session, so we should get into Orbost after this. But we'll soon know. So I have played them on PC. I really like the Orbost route. It's my kind of thing. And it's actually not very far from where I live. At least the start of it. What kind of posters have we got on this station? Nothing very interesting on this one. Whoops, too far. Down. Feb. Okay, graffiti, good. Look at all those people clustered together. Lots of them going. Anybody think I'd stolen their train? But anyway, that's fine. So I hope to get to Orbost today, or at least get into the route. I've got an hour and 3 minutes left today before I have a hard stop today, which I don't normally have, but I don't normally schedule things after the stream because sometimes you want to keep going because it's just fun and the audience is enjoying it and you're enjoying it, so you want to keep doing it. But today I have got something else on. You'd actually see me on a different YouTube channel if you if you wanted to look, not mine. It's a completely unrelated thing. I haven't told them yet, but it'll be my last one too. Rails, why sue a company when you clearly did stupid shit like that? There's a reason why companies sign waivers. No, they did not get sued. It's a fine from the regulator of transport in the UK. So they didn't get sued. And waivers aren't worth the paper that they're written on, Rails. You can't waive your rights. Well, actually, sorry, in America you can. So where you are, yes, you can. But if I sign something here that says, you might often find in places like rock climbing or go-karts or something, they'll have a form to sign that waives your right to claim compensation or whatever if you get hurt. But in my state, you can sign anything you want because no one can take away your statutory rights in this state. So it doesn't matter what you sign. Matters not. And me being me, do like to point that out to them from time to time and go, I'll sign this because I don't care, because it's just a stupid form and you won't win if it goes to court. Den says that incident with the GWO window caused a stir among heritage railways in the UK as there was a debate whether they had to put electronic locks and bars on the windows of the stock, which they would have. Bankrupted many lines. I believe the UK railways heritage do have to do central locking when they're running on the main line. So they have to have some kind of lock mechanism. It even had fallout in our railway. So our railway, the doors are now locked from the outside. And passengers who are clever enough can unlock them, but they're locked in there. And most people have absolutely no clue how to open the door, so they just wait. So it had implications here as well. It wasn't just in the UK. Getting a good bit of fang going. Wonder what these are either side of the line. Are they meant to be telephone lines or what? I'm not sure. Oh, maybe it's height barriers for the airport. Okay. I kind of understand. Lord Vectron says, same story in any of Australia law or contract. Victoria's got stronger protections than other states because Victoria hasn't given in to federal law. The way our legislation works, if we choose to adopt the federal law, we do. If the state doesn't choose to adopt the federal law, they don't. So we've got, for example, our own Occupational Health and Safety Act, which is different to the Work Health and Safety Act that's federal. Our Water Act is different to the federal one as well. Off to the land of Edinburgh, where men wear skirts and kittens are scared. Don't look up, don't look up, don't look up, meow! Told you not to look up. Rail says at least people don't do it in the US. Well, of course they do. N3V Games, hello. The Evening Star is running quite well. I managed to run her on almost no fire before, but that's okay. That'd just be me. Do roll back to the bridge on this stream, please. I assume that's Paul. Do roll back to the bridge and have a look, because there's a couple of issues. When you're departing the bridge, the scenario puts the brakes on, the session puts the brakes on a couple of times. And also you have to set the points in the next station just after the bridge. Because if you don't, you will run wrong line and then you'll spad. Which is a bit weird. Den Baker, you're looking forward to driving the 9F. Where are you going to find the 9F? Or is this thing a 9F? I should have looked that up. I'm going to have a look now, aren't I? Is Evening Star a 9F? Yes, it is. Oh, I should have known that. Bring the regulator down and let gravity do its thing, so we're getting ready for the 60 zone. I can see a yellow signal as well, so we might come right off the juice, actually. Rail says if someone tries to break a door down, they usually kick the dead middle. That's the weakest point. I don't know what that's got to do with trains, Rails. There are downsides to overprotecting your house too, because you will you're trapped inside then. N3 says makes the session more interesting. Yeah, it does, but it'll trap people. I actually spattered. I wasn't paying attention, I was reading the chat. Pop goes the safety valve. Excellent. Now, that yellow signal's gone green. Okay. No need for brakes then. We do have a 50 zone coming up though, so we'll maintain that. Let's pop a bit more water in and see if that makes this safety valve be quiet. I'm betting no, but we'll try. In the meanwhile, we can just go further away from it. Zoomed out a bit too far then. You can zoom out a long way in this game if you want to and see the map and tool around and do whatever you want. If you detach from the train, you can move. Or you can just come back in and follow your train. Either way is fine. And now approaching Haymarket. Actually, it just occurred to me we're running the route the other way around. Yeah, the other session goes the other way, the HST session. Den Baker says no mainline 75 mile an hour limit in this era. No, probably not. Boiler pressure is high. Yes, it is. Too bad. Hello, signalman. Now we're going to pass another train. What's going to be on point on that? 37 maybe? Nah, 40. Whistling away there. And there's a whole bunch of stuff sitting in the sheds over here. All different things. As we cruise on through, there's those giant light towers that we used to be able to buy from model railways, and we in Australia would go, what are these for? But no, they exist. They really did have them. Got another train moving up here. It's good to see so much moving around in a session. Even that one we found that was just going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards.
Stick within the speed limits.
No, you can slow it down for me. It'll be fine.
Haymarket Station is up ahead. It opened
Yeah, it'll be
in
fine.
1842 by the
Let's
Edinburgh
release those
and
brakes,
Glasgow
though.
Railway. It was initially the terminus of the line from
Don't tell
Glasgow
anyone, Paul, but
before
you
it
can
was
long press the
extended
X key and
to
release the
Edinburgh
penalty
Station.
brake.
Haymarket quickly became a key hub in Scotland's rail network, serving both local and long-distance trains. Its strategic location in the west of Edinburgh made it a vital connection point for passengers travelling between Glasgow, the west of Scotland, and Edinburgh, as well as other destinations across the country.
I like a little truck with coal bags. Thought I heard another train, but maybe it was outside. Some posters and stuff. We need a screenshot of... I was going to get a screenshot of the posters, but I was thwarted by the tunnel. Never mind. Australia wants to see the inside of the train. Certainly can. They are quite nicely modelled. The water in the glasses does follow the view you get. The gauges are active. Controls are active, so if I change the regulator, for example, you can see it does actually move. Better not go that hard though, or the game's going to get upset. If I use the brake handle, the vacuum brake does do things. In fact, I should use the vacuum brake handle. If I change the cutoff or reverser, you can see that does things. So it's all there. It's all good. Cycle, 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 and go. It's finally starting to use up that water, which was good, that I let get a bit high. I think I mentioned the water in the gauge glasses does actually reflect reality. It is bright blue though, but that's helpful to see it in the game, but reality it would either be transparent or coloured by whatever treatment was in it. And where you've got, and I've never seen a game get this right, just be really clear, but where you've got the diagonal lines, the water in the white spaces, you can't see anything, but in the black spaces the line's actually reversed, so you see a cross, and that helps you see where the water level is. We are cruising through our tunnel. We've got a little while to go yet before we pop out the other side and stop in Edinburgh. You can hear the church bells. Looks like we're coming out now.
And last but not least, Edinburgh Waverley Station. Commonly known simply as Waverley, is the main railway station in Edinburgh, Scotland, and one of the most important
With its rocket ship.
stations in the UK. Opened in 1846, it was originally a conglomeration of 3 separate stations.
There's the rocket ship
operated
up there on the
by
left.
railway companies. These
Always
were
looks like a
eventually
Thunderbird.
merged and redeveloped into a single station named Waverley after Sir Walter Scott's famous novel. Located in the heart of Edinburgh, between the old
There you
and
go.
new towns,
There's the rocket.
Waverley Station quickly became a key hub in
Trying to get it a bit
Scotland's
better in
railway
view,
network.
but it's failing.
It serves as the
But we'll do a
gateway to the
screenshot anyway.
capital, connecting Edinburgh with major cities across Scotland, England, and beyond. Waverley has undergone several major renovations.
Rail
over the
says,
years,
question you answered
including a
earlier.
significant redevelopment
Australia's
in the
well, we looked at the
18th
cockpit.
century.
British steamers can travel 90 miles an hour in mainline select regions.
Further modernizations have occurred throughout the 20th
Rail says
century
20.
to accommodate
Yes.
increasing passenger numbers and improve facilities.
Paul says in N3V,
Today,
that's for me because I
Edinburgh
speed too
Waverley is
much.
the second largest railway station in Scotland and remains a bustling
It's
centre of
very hard to pay
activity,
attention
linking
when
the city to
even
the
with
rest
a
of the UK.
relatively placid
Central location
chat like
and
this one.
historical significance
I did
make
say
it an
placid,
iconic landmark
not the other
in
word.
Edinburgh.
Yeah,
Ladies
even
and
with a,
gentlemen,
it
as
can
we
get
approach
challenging.
the station,
Because you look over at the chat for 10 seconds to read something, and you look back and you're going too fast.
It has been an absolute pleasure having you on board, and I hope you've enjoyed the trip as much as I've enjoyed guiding you through these beautiful sights and stories.
Very pleased to say that all of the timing points for the lady talking were correct. So that's good. As we roll here into Edinburgh Waverley. This station is really nicely modelled in its 80s guise. The only thing I think could change in here is the announcements, because the announcements are modern. Because they didn't say it sorted in the 80s. I'm probably going to have to make that move again, but that's okay. I stopped a little bit early. Off we go. No, stop it with your brakes. I don't want brakes. I want to move forwards. So this is what I mean, it's putting the brakes on sometimes, Paul. It's interesting. The person I'm calling Paul is the N3V Games channel. At least I assume that's you. I bet you it puts the brakes on again now. Watch. Maybe? Maybe not. Alright, now we're in the right spot. Train brake full. Whee!
How about that then? I told you Lily was packed full of information. I bet you learned something new about the East Coast Main Line.
Wrong button, fool.
Big thanks for your
That one.
efforts in the UK, and I wish you all the best. Head on over to see Will as he's waiting for you on the platform.
Oh, you got to drive the Evening Star. I bet that was exciting. It sounds like you might have also learned a bit during your journey, too. Well, it's time to say goodbye to the United Kingdom and make your way down under. That's right, you're headed to Australia, mate. As I'm sure you can imagine, Rusty was super
Orbost,
happy
here we
to be back
come.
on a plane. So to avoid his disgruntled comments, I sent him on an earlier flight. Well, all right.
Joseph says, guess 37 be next on this route, considering our region. There are 37s here, no 26s. There's 37s, 20s, 40s. I think I saw a 52. All right, here we go. Off to Australia, mate. Lord Vectron says, I knew the black lines were there for visibility. No idea it would bend the line to make an X.
Outback, mate. They tell me you're not afraid of getting your hands dirty. Well, today's your lucky day, because out here you get pretty bloody dirty. The sun's unforgiving, the dust gets everywhere, and the mozzies, well, they'll carry you away if you're out here after dark. Best get into it to ensure that doesn't happen. Have you ever driven a T-Class before? You haven't?
Yes.
No worries. Jump on in and fire it up.
Zoom in and enter the cabin. Okay.
This is where you'll be parking your behind for the day. If it gets numb, stand up and give it a little shake to get the blood flowing. Little bum diddy bum. That's what I do. So you've driven a few diesel trains in your time. Well, this old girl's no different, so you'll be right at home with how she works.
The session structure,
I'll get you to run some supplies out to Wagga.
I'll show you in a tick when it finishes talking.
By grabbing a few empties at now. Traffic's pretty light on around these parts, but watch for signals and stick within the speed limits and you'll be right as rain. I'm in the cab with you today, so if you get into trouble, just sing out and I'll give you a hand to work out what the go is. That's all for now. Put it into gear, take the train brake off and give that throttle a nudge so we can get going.
Put it into gear? What? Anyway, campaign structure or sessions. So there's a bunch. So as you progress your way through, it unlocks more and more content. So you start in America on the coal country route. Another one in coal country. Another one in coal country. This one transitions from coal country to Denver. with a clever transition through the tunnel. I like that. And then you've got a steam run over on, or the finishing it on the Denver side. Shunting. And then you get into the UK with an HST run. Shunting around the docks. The Evening Star. And now we're starting Outback Adventure. Well, it's not really the Outback, but I'll give them that. You know, it's marketing. That's fine. Alright, we're in our little T-Class. T-Class does actually have dynamic brakes, because it's one of the ones that does. But, reverses in, forward, good. Sounds like they got the horn pretty well, right? You can see the gauges are doing their thing. Notch 1 did nothing. That's pretty typical for a T-Class. Got the Hassler speed recorder there in front of us. Those things, the needles usually do this. They're very hard to read. Ooh, bit of wheel slip there. It's that little wheel slip light lighting up. A little bit of flicker on the wheel slip light, but that's alright. How heavy's our train? What have we got? Let's have a look. What do we actually have? We've got some lumber. Some cut timber. Americans don't call it lumber. Quite a decent set. Some wire carriages. Flat car. Louver van from South Australian Railways. That's a bit far from home. Another Louver van and a guards van. I can't imagine there'd actually be an S. Oh no, yeah, this is the 80s, isn't it? Yeah, they might have bogey exchanged it.
Smoko. Man, I'd kill for a meat pie with cheese and tomato sauce. These little branch line engines keep it simple. No dynamic brakes here, mate. You'll need to stay on the ball with just your train brake and independent brake to slow your train.
Actually, I beg to differ. T's have dynamic brakes. Well, some of them do anyway. Third series do. Yes, finally Australia, Lord Vectron. Dan Baker says these dudes must be rich to afford all these flights and helicopters. Absolutely.
That bridge you're heading over, that's the Orbost Rail Bridge. It's a ripper of a historical structure in the Orbost region. It was built to handle the often unpredictable Snowy River, which loves to flood the surrounding plains.
Well, we got to Orbost because, you know, that's where we are. I was so happy when this route came out on PC because it really does reflect rural Victoria. It's really nicely done. And up here we've got the Monster Bridge. We've got the ploughed field in front of us. We'll just wait for the T-Class to appear because you know we're doing a bridge photo.
Constructed back in the early 20th century, it's a cracker of early Aussie engineering, designed to take on the challenges of a flooding river. The bridge was a series of long spans held
Got to speed up a little bit because it's uphill on the other side.
Even when the water levels
I'm not going to be allowed to, am I?
Flow freely underneath without compromising the bridge's integrity.
Come on, train. Where are you? Oh, you are.
It's one of the longest bridges in the area. Ongoing maintenance keeps the Snowy River floodplain bridge safe and functional, ensuring it's preserved for future generations. They tell me I've got the gift of the gab, but honestly, I just like to have a good old chinwag. Nothing wrong with that. We're all pretty laid back around here, as I'm sure you're starting to pick up on.
It's actually one of the longest rail bridges in Australia. I don't think it's the longest, but it's one of them. N3Vs is where I leave the convo as I can't stand to hear myself talk in the voiceovers. Good luck. Fair enough. Now we know what Paul from N3V sounds like. I think we might screenshot that too because it looks good. It's starting to go uphill now. gets quite steep. It's a bit of a slow line, the Orbost line, so don't expect high-speed running or anything. C says this gives me the old program Neighbours with the accent. Yeah, a little bit. Little bit. How are those trees looking on the 4K? They look pretty nice, actually. Let's go back in the train for a little while. Back in the T.
Go on, son. Give it a bit of throttle.
Give it a lot of throttle. Lots and lots. Let's turn on some lights too. That'll get our headlights on. In the PC version, I think you can turn the instrument lights on and off, but it doesn't look like you can on the Xbox version. Let's pop out again. Stay on the sunny side.
Keep your eyes peeled as there's plenty of wildlife to see along the route.
In fact, look up there. Whee.
Wow, those red kangaroos can get pretty humongous. They can give you a pretty nasty wallop with those hind legs if you're not careful.
Come on, I want to get close to it. There we go. Because you know we need this. We need a screenshot with a kangaroo.
Would you look at that? One of the kangaroos has been hit by a car. Unfortunately, it's pretty common around these parts.
Another gratuitous bridge shot, if you don't mind. As you can see, the little T class, they're about, I'm trying to remember, are they about 1,000 horsepower, something like that? Let me have a look it up. Let me have a look. VRT class horsepower. 950, there you go. I was pretty close, 950. So they're not the most powerful thing on the planet, but they'll pull the skin off a custard. Vectron says, I like the reddish orange coloured VR stock. Yeah, they've done that quite nicely. Den says, definitely looking forward to more scenarios with the Steam Locos. There is another Steam scenario here. We won't get to it today because I'm going to run out of time. But there is a K class, a green one. Australia said developers and Australian base. They are indeed. Oops. Just get onto the brakes. It's N3V Games. They're based out of Queensland, but they've got people all over the country working for them, absolutely all over the place.
Bill looks like he's left one of his gates open again. That cow's definitely on the wrong side of the fence. He'd want to be careful. It didn't end well for the previous cow who ventured outside the property line.
Free steak.
That was a new coat of paint on the front of the T-Class we really didn't need. Old Bottle Bill's a laugh. They call him Bottle Bill because he makes his own brew and isn't afraid to give it a little taste, if you know what I mean. He'd forget his head if it wasn't screwed on. Guess I'd better give him a call and tell him one of the cows escaped again.
Do you know you can't breathe water? Bloody hell.
Hello, you got Bill on the floor?
Bill. Billy, mate. It's Jim Cassidy.
Hey, Jim. You chasing a bottle of my finest?
Ha. Sorry, not today, mate. Just a friendly call to let you know that one of your cows might have learnt the art of jumping. Or it's likely you just left the gate open.
Nice animated windmill.
They must have learned to jump as I'll never forget to close that gate. I got a memory like one of those big animals.
Cows actually can jump fences, just out of interest, if you give them enough
The
incentive.
stray's just near the train tracks. Smack bang between the highway and McGregor's windmill.
Thanks for the heads up, Jim, my boy. I'll head over with a truck round up.
Den Baker says Chesapeake, an Ohio Class K4 Kanawha is a nice locomotive. Shame it doesn't seem like the real one is in Steam.
You still there, mate? Oh, that poor cow. It might be safer making a run for it than getting in the back of the truck with Bill behind the wheel.
The white cross is Victorian for blow the horn. And just for rails who will tell me off for not using 14L, you blow it there and then you do this. That's it.
Alright, kid. That big fella would have caused a nice dent in someone's truck for sure. I hope they had a solid bull bar on the front.
Someone's truck. What? One of the other routes I really like in Trainz on PC, and I would love it if it came to the Xbox, Paul, if you're listening, is Healesville. Healesville is awesome.
Do you know much about the outback here in Australia? We've got some pretty diverse wildlife. Some pretty amazing but dangerous creatures live out in the rural areas. I've ran into plenty of venomous snakes in my time.
There's plenty of venomous
They
snakes in
hide
the suburbs
bog
too.
grass, so best you don't go barefoot. Be sure to make plenty of noise as they scare fairly easily.
Sam's Train said cows can just walk through the fence if you aren't good at building fences. Yes,
Pretty
that's
hot
very
days and
true.
Cold nights. The temperatures can get pretty extreme, but what you need to look out for are the storms. When the heavens open, the rain can be torrential, hence why they built the Orbost bridge. The sky puts on a show of lightning and thunder like you've never seen. Doesn't matter how many times I've seen it, still scares the living daylights out of me. Generally,
See,
you
now
won't
an
be
Australian
indoors
wouldn't
when the
say
lightning
scares the
thunder
living
hits.
daylights out of me.
But
They'd
old
say
Bottle
scare the
Bill,
living shit out of
he's
me.
been known to get out and have a dance in the rain. He's a crazy old third-generation farmer with a can-do attitude and a heart of gold. You're from coal country in the United States, so you'd be pretty familiar with the rural areas, I imagine. You're speeding. Slow down and stick to the speed limits.
No.
The rail networks are so important to connect all the little towns out here and keep the supply of goods coming and going. While big rigs and heavy haulers are widely used for transportation in Oz, the roads can get pretty unpredictable. Moving goods by rail is a very
N3V says Zech's
reliable
Amazing
means of
Creation, definitely on the
transportation,
cards.
and avoids a lot of
That
hassles
route
that you
is
get
so
when getting out on the
good.
highway.
This one is good. Healesville is next level. So the two of these are my two favourite ones actually in the game.
See those trees on either side of the tracks? Those are eucalyptus trees. Almost all eucalyptus trees are native to
Dead one.
Australia. While the storms bring plenty of floodwaters, the other side of the coin are the dry periods that bring the harsh bushfires.
N3V Games says, well, I think bloody is about as extreme as it gets with the words.
If
Yeah.
you crumple the leaves, they have this beautiful
Yes,
eucalyptus smell to
you
them.
do have to
Eucalyptus oil is used in a variety of products.
watch that Peggy
It's even known
rating.
for its antiseptic and anti-inflammatory
Console
properties.
games get rated
In
on
the dry, hot
under
season,
Peggy.
The eucalyptus tree's bark and oils make them highly
Lord Vectron said, is this real life
This leads to
based?
huge
It's no, it's
bushfires
real
that
life.
threaten
This is
all
it.
the
It is
wildlife in
actually
rural
pretty close
towns
to
around
reality.
The koalas certainly love them,
Well,
though.
was.
Cute little fellas, but they can get pretty grumpy. If all I did was munch on eucalyptus leaves all day
Doesn't
long,
really
I
look
don't
like this
think I'd be
anymore.
a bag of fun either.
I don't know that I'd call Victoria the Outback, but it's okay. This fruit's very lumpy. You keep forgetting how lumpy it is, and it catches you out. N3V, so I should send you some of the audio that didn't make in the game. You might... YouTube might block you. I could imagine. Yes. Aussies are blunt, and there are certain words that we use as punctuation in sentences that the rest of the world's kind of horrified about. I taught an American friend of mine one of them, and she uses it all the time now. Shadows are working well on this one. It's good to see this route performing well on the Xbox too, because this is probably the highest fidelity of the routes in the game. So this is the railway version of a roller coaster, this route, it really is. Little country crossing. I think we need one of those, don't we? Of course we do.
Be careful over the next stretch of track. The train can easily get away from you if you aren't ready.
Yeah, no kidding. Downhill, let's go. Fortunately, the T-Cast has a good compressor, so you can apply and release the brakes almost as much as you want on these things. Another little trestle bridge.
Slow down and stick to the speed limits.
Just as I'm about to do that. Brakes off and back on the throttle shortly. I wasn't paying attention to the speed then. Andy says, let's go, Mario. Well, back on the juices. Straight into notch 8, as you do. Listen to that little EMD scream. You notice she notches up by herself one notch at a time. So you go straight into 8 and the engine goes, nah mate, we're going up one at a time. The real ones do that too. Just go conk. And back off. Back on the brakes. Let gravity do its thing. We've got that little hump in front of us. The sound's been done pretty well on these too. The rail cars sound quite good. There you go. Gravity giving us a little helping hand here. As we pop over the top. Jack M, how you doing today? I haven't got Queensland route on this because this is Trainz World Tour on Xbox, or Trainz Simulator World Tour, I should say, on Xbox. And it has the American Coal Country, American West from Denver, UK, the Scottish route, Edinburgh to Dundee, and Australia, it's got Orbost. So it's not quite the same as what you get on PC. There's a little bit less content. And you can't download your own content for the Xbox version as yet. That may come one day, but not yet. .30 for the curve as we cruise through the bush. That should hold, I think. So let's zoom out and look at the map. It's quite a long route. So we started down the back there, and it's rather a long way to go until you get to the other end of it. Rather a long way. But we're not going all the way along the route this time, so let's zoom back in. Because we're doing a specific run here. I should get some more brakes into this thing before it yells at me and stops me. Let's see if we can set up a... Whoops, wrong side. That looks pretty nice there. Time for another screenshot, as you do. And in the meantime, of course, brakes off. And throttle on, because we're going uphill again. And straight back to 8, because we can. And just sit back and relax now. Let the little T-Class do the rest of the work. N3B, I'm off. It's a challenging drive. See if you can get 5 stars. I'll be watching, judging later. I doubt I'll get 5 stars. It is difficult. It really is. It's one of the interesting things. So a lot of people on my channel, UK and US people, probably more so than the Aussies, and probably aren't familiar with our railways. We didn't really hack out the landscape. You go up and down like a roller coaster. That's kind of what our railways did. At least the old ones did. The more modern ones, less so. But most of them just sort of followed the landscape. There's a nice shot. We'll do that. Why not? Show off the Aussies. Oh, look at that. Bridge. Trestle bridge. Gotta like a good trestle bridge. Still a lot of trestle bridges on the main line in Australia. Not nearly as many as there used to be. There's a lot of steel ones. The one over Melton Weir is one of the biggest that I'm aware of. So I don't have to worry about this upcoming speed change to 25 because who cares? We're only doing 19 and we're barely accelerating. That'll change as we flatten out. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But while this is a relatively slow action single line route, the landscape keeps you busy. So there's not many times when you can sit here like this and relax. Because you need to look after it. So we're starting to flatten out now, so we're starting to accelerate. So I've got to get back into it again. And just as you think you're safe, you're going to go up again. I am hearing the occasional Australian bird call and the like. Let them know we're coming.
Up ahead is Wagara. You need to stop before the siding so you can work out how to get the goods vans decoupled at the station.
Good to hear some magpies. So we're going to dump off the louver vans by the sounds of things. Now it's funny about louver vans because we say louver van, but of course it's a French word and it's louve. So it's louvan. It's a van full of dunnies. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. $10:39, 20 minutes to go. Actually a little bit less because I have to change t-shirts for the other one. Listen to that compressor go. Is that going to be close enough?
Okay,
Yep.
go ahead and decouple the guard van. We'll pick it up on the runaround to continue on with our deliveries soon.
Alright, now my best friend, decouple mode. Let's see if it's better on this route. And let's get rid of that. Get on to 90 degrees to the train. Actually, I should record this because this is decouple mode. Just excuse me a moment. I'll go back into this menu and get out of decouple mode if I can. No, I can't. Okay. So we're gonna... Oops, I just decoupled the train, I think. I think I just did the wrong thing. I did. Right. Now let's go back into decouple mode again. Come on. Right. I did in fact decouple the train. Then did the wrong thing, pressed the left button to move down the train, got that wrong. Decouple mode. Let's see if I can get it right this time. Oh, looks like I've decoupled the next carriage as well, so we'll couple that one up again. Hopefully I coupled that rather than uncoupling that, but let's have a look. No, I think I uncoupled it. Okay. I did. So I want to couple it. Come on. Couple it. Right. I'm good at this, honest. So the next one, I've managed to decouple that as well. So let's... Right, now I've recoupled the whole train. That's what we need. Good. So let's go back into decouple mode and we should see a whole train of red couplers. Lovely. Okay, now let's move down the train using the left stick. And we want to be at 90 degrees to the car. We want to uncouple and then we press uncouple, which is
Great.
D-pad
Now pull into the
right.
station and
Got it.
decouple both goods vans.
Excellent. And we're starting to roll away because clearly the only thing that had brakes on it was the car's van. Oh, fine. I am recording this little section for a tutorial on coupling. Now, what are our points set as? So we're going into the siding or the main. So we want to go up there into the siding, so all good. So we can release the brakes. And get her rumbling into the siding. Because basically we just leave the guards van sitting there on the main. Let's make sure we're leaving it behind. We are. Good. We'll draw the train into the siding, dump the vans, and then we'll come back. We can see there's some smoking grading equipment up there by the looks of it. Get back off the deuce now so we don't go too fast. It's good to see the little animated bits of stuff happening. So that's a log loader, that one over there. Get ready to brake because we're not far off there, but we're also not going very fast. And we may as well set those points while we're here. So I just use D-pad right to do that. And we should probably think about stopping this thing. Then we get to go into uncouple mode again. Yay! My favourite. Do you know, I reckon that's close enough. Alright, back into uncouple mode, and we want to dump those vans off. So we will use the little radial menu and move down the train. Now we've got our van, so that's the last one. That's the second one, and we want to uncouple that one. Dunk.
Now drive forward.
Got it
till
right!
clear of the side.
Yay! Alright, let's drive forward then. Brakes off. Throttle on. We've already set the points. And we are indeed leaving the vans behind. Perfect. Good work. We'll take the train forward. And then we'll go back and get our guards van. There's that bloke doing his thing again. Oh no! Facepalm. Another animated windmill up there. I think it needs another one of those, don't you? Yes, definitely. Not that one. That one. Now you can either drop off the train and go and set those points by hovering over them, or you can just wait till you stop in reverse direction and set them when you start moving. Because once the game knows which way you're going, you can just use set the points from the D-pad and it works. Bit more because it's a bit steep here. It's going to be a little bit hard to get going again too. But we'll do it. Alright, so let's go and get the
Now
reverser.
reverse back and collect the guard van.
And what you would normally do at this point is go onto the loco brake, fully apply the loco brake, fully release the train brake, and then you start throttling up. And once you hear it powering, you then go back and slowly release the loco brake. And she should start to move without rolling forwards. She's thinking about it. I reckon we might need another notch. There it goes. Now we can release the loco brake. And remember, we've got to change those points. So there we go, that's done. I think I'd already done it, but or it's done it for me, one or the other. Not loco brake. What am I doing? Throttle, more throttle, more throttle. That looks cool too, so we're going to do that as well. I just like the way it looks. I can't help it. It's interesting now that we've got to Australia, 5 people have gone, nah, that's enough. There's 10 minutes left in this stream because I have to change over. So we won't get this finished today, but we'll at least get onwards again from this station. Now we probably have to change those points behind us as well, unless it's already done it. There we go. Pete says it looks good. I reckon so. Don't want to hit the guards van too hard. Been there, done that. Not doing it again. You can derail trains in Trainz. Automatic couplers, of course, which is good. 4 miles an hour is a good coupling speed. Right, there we
You're
go.
all over this train driving gig, mate. Throttle up and head on through to our next delivery.
Mindly Ticket Trombone, hello to you. Welcome to the stream. You've appeared with about 9 minutes and 30 seconds left. But that's okay. And we're heading off to Tostery. Having just left 2 vans here. And we'll just let gravity take over now. While I just race off and just rename that tutorial. Little toot in case there's anyone coming, even though we can plainly see there isn't. In fact, often on Australian railways, if there's no one coming on a road and the driver can plainly see there's no one coming, they're quite likely to just not toot at all. Because, you know, there's not that much point. Lord Vectron says, Tostery is close to the name of my town, and that just threw me off. Excellent. I don't think we'll actually get to Tostery today because it's a bit far. It's more than 8 minutes away. But we'll cruise along, and we'll continue this on Wednesday night. We'll continue the Trainz series as it's become. Because I was kind of 2 minds about playing through the whole lot, because it could take the element of surprise. There's another kangaroo down there. It could take the element of surprise out of the game for some people. But I also, those people could choose not to watch. And I recognise that there's a lot of people that are going to want to see what they're getting. So people could scroll down through my videos list to when Orbost came out, because we played it a lot when it came out. This was route that got me back into Trainz after quite a long hiatus. Because I was quite eager to get my hands on it. And of course we did. But I do want to show people what's coming in the Xbox, because the Xbox version is not identical to the PC in the way it works. Some things are simpler, mainly to do around this thing is where it's different. The gameplay itself is about the same. Alright, we are now going downhill, off the throttle, back onto the brakes. Woohoo! And we've got a 30 coming up, so let's get our train below speed. There we go. There won't be any 5 stars for me. So, like Hillsville, I love this route because it's up and down like a yo-yo. If this wasn't trying to aim for a Peggy rating, I'd say up and down like a porn star. But we wouldn't say that. No, of course not. Sorry about having a time limit today, but I did book in something else. And because those people are overseas, and one of them will be awake at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's about as late as I wanted to make it. And the other one, I think it's 11 PM for them. So, yeah, it's a bit of a world effort, this next thing I'm about to do. It's nothing to do with trains. It's to do with maps. In fact, I might end it a bit earlier than that, because I have I want a personal needs break as well. So I think once we get it up to the top of this hill, I might just knock it off there, because there's not a chance that we're going to get to Tosteria in the next 5 minutes. So I think what I'll do is I will... Wrong menu. I'll use the right menu, and I'll do a quick save, and then we'll pop down and you can see the names of the people that have been involved in this stuff. So under the artists, I know Zach Murphy. He's a quite a cool individual. He works on the same railway that I do. The person that you have heard or seen in the N3V games on the chat is Paul Olsen, who plays Jim. And you can see the other people involved. So we will come back on Wednesday night and we will continue this. Hopefully you can hear me over this music. It's a bit loud. But we'll continue this. We'll continue playing through Orbost and we'll go from there. So thank you very much for watching. I've appreciated all of the chat and I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing with Trainz Simulator World Tour. That's Trainz with a Z on the Xbox, and we're playing on the Xbox X today. Alrighty, thanks very much. Enjoy yourselves. And we shall see you on Wednesday night with even more cats. Bye now.